So go to bed early the moment you return from the office. Maybe you can get up at 4 or 5 like that. So, and the 5 to 6, 1 hour, I think that is a good time at least to refresh or to have a continuity, because which I am experiencing now with my experience only. I'm just saying this. Now, whenever I come to room by 9, I just take bath and sleep. Then immediately I get up at morning 2:30 or 3:30 like that. Some of the office works or some of the things now I am doing at 3:30 or 4 also. So that I think consistency I maintain. Whenever I have time, even suppose for example I'm traveling from one place to another place, it takes some 2-3 hours in the car. So what I will do, I used to on the app and listen to the CISA videos. So my focus was more on wherever the time available, I used to spend like that. As I said, first what I did because of my education background and experience, so I was little overconfident. I can say I need to admit it.
Hello everyone, welcome to CISA This Much. This is Aditya, and today we have with us Dr. Mahendra, who has recently qualified his CISA. So, and that too with, let me tell you this in advance, he has scored 616. So, first of all, Dr. Mahendra, heartiest congratulations for passing the exam, for qualifying the exam, and that too with a huge score of 616. So, before asking you any question, how does it feel passing the exam?
First of all, thank you so much, Aditya, for having this kind of success story interaction. Yeah, I can say in three simple words the how I achieved. One is having conceptual clarity. Second one is discipline in preparation of the my preparation hours of CISA. And the third thing is reading the questions, like the what the approach you mentioned in your videos. Segmenting the question and highlighting the keywords and reading the question in conjunction with the answers. So I think these are the three simple. It looks very simple, but it's very hard. But these are the three reasons for anyone, not only me. I'm not exception. Anyone can easily pass this exam.
Sure. And like I know about your background. Like, can you please introduce yourself, your background, and what made you choose this certification, CISA?
Sure. I am, as I said, my complete name is Mahendra Kunku. I am from Andhra Pradesh, southern part of India. My basic degree, as far as qualification is concerned, my basic degree is in computer applications, that is Bachelor of Computer Applications. And post that, I did my MBA Finance with IT as dual specialization from Andhra University Campus College. And post that, I did my Cost and Management Accountancy from Institute of Cost Accountants of India and the doctorate from Pondicherry University, a central university in India. So this is about my qualification. Fortunately, I am from IT. I myself is in graduation in IT. So whatever the concept, the fundamental concepts which are there in domain 4 and 5 are already I have read in my graduation as well. As far as the network devices, TCP/IP, the disaster recovery drill and all, BCP and all were not there at the time, but especially the fourth domain is not new to me. And being I'm into coming to my experience, I have 2 decades of experience in accounting, finance, audit. Right now, for the last 10 years, I restricted myself to only the internal audit and risk functions. That is my that's where my I restricted myself to have a career. I work with different companies, major companies. If you say Nuclear Power Corporation of India in Government of India setup, which is associated with the Department of Atomic Energy, and then Larsen and Toubro, a very big conglomerate and construction company in India. And then I work with Rain Industries. It is a having different businesses like cement manufacturing, tar distillation, and calcination, etc. I moved to UAE in 2022, worked with ADNOC on the SAP BPC projects. Now I'm with HLB HAMT Chartered Accountants. It's almost in the ranking, if you see, in the 10th position in the world. I'm working as a senior manager here, heading the internal audit and organizational consultancy department, having numerous clients. For me, the fortunate thing is I am a professional with blend of the finance as well as IT from my graduation days onwards,
Correct.
and I have a lot of passion towards this IT. Even in as part of my internal audits, I have done many IT audits, testing the ITGC controls, going through the disaster recovery drills, etc. So I was not having qualification, but I was doing complete review of the IT controls, even SAP, the functional modules in internal control perspective. I have reviewed all modules. Most of the modules I have reviewed in is SAP ECC. So that is what my experience. I think that blend of audit, internal audit, and this helped me to succeed. I am feeling, especially the domain three. Actually, this domain three only I scored very less. Here, I want to tell one point. Even you also mentioned many times your experience, your whatever the review manual. These are all at one part, but thinking in the ISACA perspective is more important for this exam. Even first, see, some of the times what I felt is because being I'm an internal auditor and looking at different, practical challenges or practical approaches in our execution of the audits. Sometimes we take an alternative, the compensating controls or a different approach for the same problem, where ISACA approach was different, and being a practical person or having experience is different. So if when I did this mock exams, the two answers where the two we can easily eliminate, and two answers are there. There it is a big conflict or the big fight between the auditor in me and the ISACA approach.
Okay.
So almost I have observed this, almost some 50 to 60% of the times I made mistake,
Correct.
because we look at, even recently I was telling one example. Suppose you are a person. I just take 1 minute and tell this
Yeah,
example
sure,
to
sure.
understand what is ISACA approach and sometimes what we look at. Suppose there is a friend in the lift and you are just outside and you are going to approach the lift. He saw you and he wants to open the door. The door was almost half closed. There is another guy who's understood the scenario, and he just put his hand on the leg, just to sense, and the door gets go back. And this guy, your friend, the friend of that guy, is pressing the open button in the lift. So the objective of the both people is same to open the door, but the pressing the switch is ISACA approach. Sometimes we follow this leg and our hand approach,
Uh,
as a shortcut, but this has its own risk. So sometimes it may get jammed or it may get affected.
correct.
So
You have
so
spoken a
this is
lot
the
in just one example. Yeah.
this is a kind of understand, because this happened to me. Then I just correlated this to CISA approach and how we think in the exam, that actually the correct approach is pressing that button. But
Correct.
though the action is very fast here, because that switch has to get the signal, it has to go and work on the logic. So that is there. There is a delay, but
Yeah.
that was the right approach. So this is what I tell the people who are in already the auditors. So sometimes I felt a clean slate or the clean guy who is a fresher and who's freshly starting the reading of the CISA material and making himself towards in that direction, I think they will clear this exam very easily as compared to us. Like, because there is one internal inside one auditor was there, so that guy, spoils sometimes answers.
Yeah, so I understood your point. There is unlearning and learning new things. Actually, it's like they follow all the best practices, right? And the best practices, sometimes practically we may or we may not follow that, right? Because of a lot
Yeah.
of factors, right? But then the things mentioned from for passing the exam, those are all the best practices which we have to follow ideally, which we have to follow,
Yes.
right? And sometimes when we have the practical knowledge, at times we need to unlearn few things what we are already doing in the job, and then we need to learn new things, the new aspects, right? But yeah, but as you
Yes.
said, like, for freshers, that is not the issue. Like, for them, okay, they are learning things, as if something is new information for them. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, this particular point I have discussed a lot of times also, in the
Yeah.
interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, you really see to tell about your videos. Almost two times I have seen complete videos. Two times I have finished all, even including the MCQ blockbusters. So so your approach really helps to clear this exam, and no doubt in it.
Okay. My next question to you would be, since you had this journey of 447 to 616, first of all, let me tell all the audience one thing. Getting a score above 600 is not easy. Okay. Normally, I do not say about, the score part, because actually, honestly, passing the exam in itself is an accomplishment, right? So we should not talk about the scores, but, getting a score of beyond 600 is not that easy to achieve. Okay, unless and until you had like you answered almost all the questions right, you were, bang on, with the answers, then only it's possible. Okay, so, as far as what I know, your first attempt, it was 447. 447 means just because of one question. This is what I understand, because 447 means, you were at the border, right? Since 450 is the passing score, you were already at the border. It means you already cleared the exam. Okay, it's just that maybe ISACA felt, okay, you need some extra push or some extra thing which will make you qualify for this. Maybe, they have their own factors, they have their own criteria, on the basis of which they decide whom to pass and whom to, like, fail in the exam. So, like, I want to know about your journey, and what all changes you made during this, the from the transitioning from this score to a very, it's not that you just pass the exam for the sake of passing. You actually scored 616, which is actually a ranker's score. Like, I know people have got local chapters, recognition, the rank holders recognition, after scoring, like, 615, 620, like that score. So it's a very good score. So I just want to know about your journey, what all changes you made in your preparation, and, like, were you expecting, like, you will score this much, like, in the second time when you gave the exam? Did you expect that, like, this will happen? I'm damn sure this time I did my best, I know I will score, and that too, beyond 600.
Yeah. As I said, first what I did, because of my education background and experience, so I was little overconfident. I can say, I need to admit it. I just took the material of CISA review manual from my friend who did his CISA exam. So just I have gone through that material one or two times. I read the material and understood the concepts. And in the public domain, whatever the videos are there related to CISA, your domain 2 video, other people also have a lot of simple learn. They have few videos. So I used to go through those videos, and in public domain, some wherever the tests are there, mock tests. So those I attempted. That was the my initial phase of thing. But only the mistake what I did is that whatever the time I spent, it is only some 3 to 4 months. It was sensing me. Maybe my preparation is not adequate, but Since actually I opted the CISA with two objectives. One is when I did research on the Middle East opportunities in internal audit, though I have experience, but the certification wise, they are looking either CA or CAA or CISA. So among these three, I felt CISA is best for me. So I am in hurry of I want to acquire that qualification, because when I was in India, I know this CISA course in 2015, even 2014. When I go for this professional development program in ICA Cost Institute, one lady, she who cleared CISA, she shared her experience and opportunities. At that time, I know because we know all, right. It is a 50,000 rupees one attempt cost. So that is the reason I just postponed that. Now there is no other way to grab the opportunity in Middle East, so I have to do it. So I was in hurry, but the 3 months time only I spent. But after 447 I realized, yes, for this 3 months time is not adequate. So then changed my approach. First I need to take little more time. Maybe 6 to 7 months it is required, because I'm working as well as studying, right? So 5 days week I will spend 0 hours, because I am at senior position and it is completely out. Only the 2 weekends, I think almost now almost I am completing 11 months coming to Dubai. From the first day to today, almost 80% of my weekends are sacrificed for CISA preparation only. So per day I used to spend 8 to 10 hours. So per week it comes to 20 hours. That consistency I maintain. Whenever I have time, even suppose for example I'm traveling from one place to another place, it takes some 2 3 hours in the car. So what I will do, I used to on the app and listen to the CISA videos. So my focus was more on wherever the time available, I used to spend like that. I used to carry some material, or I used to read. See, nowadays everything is there in mobile. So even your lectures provided in mobile only. So I used to open the app, and then at least maybe I may cover some 3 4 topics in that 1 hour or 2 hours journey. So that way, I've put more focus, consistency in preparation hours, and seeing a benchmarking material. I have done a lot of research. Even I bought exam labs also. I bought your CISA this much. I found yours is superior. I'm not telling for marketing purpose. I'm telling my honest answer. This is what I felt. So these are the steps which helped me, from that previous to now, in terms of marks improvement. Uh, I can say yes. When I did the exam, I was damn sure. Even after coming out of the exam, I called my director, who was much interested in me how I did my exam. I told Raghu, his name is Raghu. So I told Raghu, I will definitely score a good score. It will be more than 600. That's what I am expecting. So that's the expectation I had after the exam, because we will easily come to know the way we answered and the questions. So even I did the entire exam in 2.5 hours. Another 1 hour I spent to review my answers. Even maybe some 15 or 20 minutes back, 20 minutes before itself, because I know very well that it is damn sure. So then I exited 20 minutes before itself of the exam. So
Okay, yeah. Thank you for that detailed approach, detailed answer. Actually, I was just trying to listen to various points. I think you even mentioned that initially you were not spending hours during the weekdays. This is what you mentioned, and you also mentioned the reason behind that. Like since you are already at the senior level, so like devoting time for studies was slightly difficult for you. So, like, do you feel okay? No, because again, this is something why I'm asking is because most of the people have this question, and especially working professionals, they say, like, if you only spend hours during the weekends, is it possible to pass the exam? See, I won't say it is difficult, it is impossible. I won't say it is impossible. But again, you know, I know the advantage of, studying even on weekdays, and getting, like, being in touch with your studies. Because when you study only on weekends, what to say, you lose the track of your studies, and then again you have to, maybe, like, after, because I know 5 days a gap, 5 days of gap is also a big gap. Okay. And in fact, when I was studying for my exam, in way back, in the year 2018, so one professor, he told me that, you look at one question now. Okay, you do not look at the same question. You understand everything. You will understand, okay, this was the logic used, this was the answer, that was the reason. Okay, that's why option number B is not selected, option number C is the answer. You take a gap of 1 week. On the eighth day, again you look back, you go and look at the same question. Do not revise. You will, there are chances that you will go wrong in the same question. This is something. And like, initially I thought, okay, no, it's just, he's just saying. But then when it came true for me, that time I realized, oh my god, so this is the reason why, you need to be in touch with your studies. And then you also mentioned that, like, afterwards you started, even, like, whenever you used to get time, you used to devote hours, like, even during the traveling time also, you used to keep a mobile phone. So your entire mindset, your entire approach changed altogether. Okay, so this is what I'm understanding based on your answer. So, like, do you also advise the same to the people, like, like, in order to crack the exam in first attempt, you need to have this mindset, okay, whenever I get time, even half an hour, because, like, obviously, like, people, if people are traveling, at least they get half an hour to sometimes 1 hour also, sometimes more than that. So, do they should also follow the same approach, that whenever you get time, be, in touch with your studies, and that's the only way to pass this exam with confidence? Like, do you advise the same to everyone?
Yes, Aditya. See, my point, what I want to make a point is, uh, wherever you find time, because see, as a working person, it is very difficult. Since I am into internal audit, the client journeys, etc., going to client place, etc., minimum here from one Emirates to another Emirate, it takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So that's the way, even in the, see, that maximum these journeys and all will happen in weekdays. So that is also one way of, keeping yourself in touch with the subject. Yes, I completely agree with you. You should at least on a day, on a daily basis, 1 to 2 hours of time is required to spend on that. What I suggest the people is, because evening everyone gets exhausted. Okay, so go to bed early. The moment you return from the office, maybe you can get up at 4 or 5, like that. So, and the 5 to 6, 1 hour, I think that is a good time at least to refresh or to have a continuity, because which I am experiencing now with my experience only. I'm just saying this. Now, whenever I come to room by 9, I just take bath and sleep. Then immediately I get up at morning 2:30 or 3:30, like that. Some of the office works or some of the things now I am doing at 3:30 or 4 hours. So that I think, because many people, even I myself, as a justification, because we are all human beings and our mind is always probe into justification. Yeah, you worked very hard today. You need to take rest. How can you spend on this CISA exam? However, you don't know what it. So our mind will, always probe you towards that justification, because I am experienced. So somehow we need to, kill that thought. And yes, it is essential. Yes, I have to get this qualification. With such determination, if people pursue it, it varies from case to case. Some people have a habit of reading up to 2 o'clock. During my MBA days, we used to study up to 2 o'clock. We don't have a habit of reading morning. Some people have a reading of morning habit. So it depends upon the people. But ultimately, the point is one: consistency in preparation of hours. That is, maybe you can spend maybe daily 1 or 2 hours, and weekdays you can increase that quota little more. That only will help. Otherwise, I will read only on weekends means no. I didn't do that. What I did, even weekdays, I'm saying I spent zero. But wherever night time, suppose sometimes we come early also from office. Suppose if I return by 7 or 8, I will finish my dinner and study up to 11, maybe 1 or 2 hours on that day. So it doesn't mean that I spent 0 hours on the weekdays. No, no. But comparatively, the weekdays and weekends, comparatively, the quota was in weekends and the time spent was less. But the ultimate success factor is spending time on all the days. At least minimum for 6 months, this much preparation is required for a working professional. Damn sure. Otherwise, I think it is very difficult because the questions are, as you said, today, whatever the question you answered very confidently, maybe tomorrow again you will end up in the doubt because the your mind is in the process of losing, the concepts. Even like it is general, right? Suppose now, for example, in current assignments, my interaction or review of SAP is very, very minimal. So now, the previous to that, I was feeling like expert or something like that. But today, when I go and see open some of the SAP concepts, I'm feeling little doubtful. So yeah, that is that is the truth actually. I completely agree, and I recommend whatever your viewpoint to the all CISA aspirants.
Yeah, so thank you for that detailed answer. And honestly, like this interview was one of the best interview I've taken because your journey was very inspirational journey. Like you mentioned a lot of factors, and in fact, I'm sure that many people will try to interlink their journey with your journey, and then whatever mistakes they are doing, it's we all say that instead of you doing the same mistake, you can learn from the experiences of what people have done. Okay, what all things you must not repeat that. And if he's saying, if an experienced person like him, if he's saying that, it definitely is having some value, right? So definitely I'm sure a lot of people will learn from your experiences. So last question, any last piece of advice you would like to give from your end to the future CISA aspirants who are watching your current interview?
Sure. As far as the qualification of CISA is concerned, it is a very good value add, especially the people who wants to, pursue their career internationally in an audited domain. Uh, so there is no doubt in it because this is worth investing money in that. Rather than, I will say, investment perspective, I will say in the knowledge perspective, I myself admit some of the things or some of the thoughts on certain audit steps. There is a change in me after this CISA course material which I have went through on the thinking whenever we are doing some audit step. Now my thinking process has been changed. Like rather than finding some observation or exception, I am now looking at from the management perspective. What is the objective? What the management is expecting from this? So there is a huge change in my thought process as well. So this is the another value add. And tips for cracking this exam. It is, I already told at the beginning itself. You should have a thorough conceptual clarity so that you can answer any question. It is not a mug up kind of job. So every question has a reasoning, justification, and logic. So the conceptual clarity is very, very important, and consistency in the preparation of ours, and reading the question multiple times in conjunction with the answers. Actually, that is another factor which has a very great weight in cracking the exam. So I tell these are the steps which I followed. Uh, Due to that, I am able to get a score, good score. I tell the all CISA aspirants, you need not to think, especially the people who wants to pursue their IT audit career or internal audit, even internal audit. In internal audit also they are asking, because nowadays, see, as I told, I heard from one of the chief audit executive of a money exchange here, wherever he himself shared his personal experience when he went when attended his some career opportunities purely because of CISA qualification. He got some rejections as well. So that is the importance the CISA has. That importance is gaining because of the EGIT, enterprise governance of IT, because most of the companies now towards or all having the digital presence in their companies for all. Even a small restaurant or a small shop also today, they have their own system of this thing. So the IT as it from the standalone IT to EGIT. So this CISA qualification will help a lot in our career. So don't be rush. I have to give the exam like that. Sometimes we may feel that have a good amount of time for your preparation. Even if you paid the exam fee now, it will be valid for a year. So you yourself, even myself, some of the times wherever I felt I can't do, though I fixed the date, I have changed also. So that flexibility is there in this CISA course. So once you pay the fee, you can do your exam in that year, in the 12 months at any point of time. Even if you are not sure after some time, you can postpone it. So that is the advantage. So these are the some of the useful information which I want to share through CISA this much platform. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, sharing your entire journey. Lot of strategies we have discussed, lot of tips and advices to the people. So thank you and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Aditya. Thank you so much. All the best.